Welcome back to another episode of Let's Mod NBA 2K. Last video we kind of talked about the 3-digit numbers that's associated with each team when you're looking at the manifest inside of the archive. So today we're actually going to be opening up and using the 2K File Explorer to pull some of those files out. So first thing I want you guys to do is head over to the NBA 2K20 modding forum on NLSC. Head over to my thread, A Complete Guide to an Improved NBA 2K20. Scroll all the way down to tools, and we're gonna download a few things and get that stuff set up before we even start. The first one is gonna be Notepad++. Now unfortunately, when you click on this link, I guess their site is down or something's going on with the site, the official site. But I actually have a modding tools folder on my media finder. I'm gonna drop a link in, and you can download the Notepad++ exe installation file there, so you'll be able to still get it. The second thing you're want to get is going to be 7-zip. When you get here, just make sure you click on whatever version. Windows, you got 32 or 64. Most people got 64-bit now, so go ahead and download that, install that, and then that's pretty much all we need right now. Oh, the last thing we need is I would have forgot the 2K Explorer. So if you click this link that says NBA 2K Explorer, click that's going to take you to the download page for that. All right, so now installing 7-zip and Notepad++ is fairly yes, fairly simple. You don't have to do anything with those. Now when you go ahead and download the 2K File Explorer for 2K20, what you're going to want to do is when you download it, you can put it anywhere. So you can put it in any directory. Me personally, I put mines in my 2K directory. I keep a folder in here called tools, and then I just threw it in there. As you can see, 2K Explorer. So I made a folder called 2K Explorer, threw it in there, and threw all the files that I downloaded from the website right inside of it. Then I took the exe and made me a shortcut to it. So I made a shortcut that I put it right here on my taskbar. So that's just what I wanted to do. You can put it anywhere on your computer. Just try to put it somewhere where you'll know how to get to it. After you download that file and you set up a little shortcut to it, when you first open it up, you're going to be greeted with a little black box like that, and then this page here is going to pop up. Now it probably will pop up like this, and this box here will be blank. If it's blank, the only thing that you need to do is select your 2K20 directory here. So what you're going to do is you're going to and now people that are on Steam, this is usually the directory right here. Whatever drive you install your games, program files, x86, Steam apps, common, NBA 2K20. That's usually the same directory for everybody. Just make sure that 2K20 folder is selected. Leave it at the top like this, and then hit save settings. When you hit save settings, you'll be good to go. The 2K Explorer is all set up. So let's go ahead and minimize that. We can actually close it out for right now. All right, so I want to quickly talk about IFF files. So I got one right here. So what's going to happen is what we're going to do is we're going to go into our manifest. When we go into our manifest, we're going to be looking for certain files. So this is where, let's say I wanted to edit a jersey, I wanted to edit a logo, I wanted to edit a court. This is where you would actually pull the file out of, and then you would edit it and then put it back into your modding folder. So we're going to use the manifest to help us do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the manifest to search for any files that we need. Then we're going to use the 2K Explorer to actually grab the file from the archive, and then we're going to modify it. So an example, and when we looked at this in our last video, was if I go back to my Google Drive and then I go to my high school hoops, we kind of talked about the 76ers and we looked at these files. So the arena, let's just do the floor. The floor for the 76ers is f000.iff. Now the IFF is basically, again, it's just the file that's inside of these archives. So every archive is made up of a bunch of IFF files. And these are files that, they're assets for the game basically. So all of these files end with that extension, so .iff. One thing I will tell you guys, if you do not have it selected, go into your, just open up File Explorer, go to View, and then Make sure that this is checked here, file name extensions. You'll want to make sure that that's turned on, because if you don't, you see how the file extension is hidden, you don't actually kind of know what you're looking at. So just for the sake of making it easy, check that box so that your extensions will be showing. It'll help when we do stuff down the line, trust me. All right, so let's say we're gonna go ahead and open up the floor file for the 76ers, because let's say we want to add something to the baseline, right? First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna find the floor. We're gonna find we're gonna find what we're looking for. So just some good simple ones off the top that I gave you guys was arenas start with S, floors start with F, crowds are crowd underscore, logos are just logo and then a number. Jerseys are usually start with U for uniform, and then it's the abbreviation of the team and then the year. We're not gonna look at those right now because those are a little bit more complicated, but that's kind of how it looks, and I'll show you guys that down the line. So let's go ahead and just pull out the floor for the 76ers. So the first thing we're gonna do, and this is where the whole manifest thing comes into play, because without the manifest you wouldn't know where to get the file. So let's do a Control F while we got the manifest open. We're gonna look for f000.iff. We're gonna do a search. All right, so OI f00.iff. So again, remember we said that we looked on the last video and we saw that the arena was in the OI directory as well. Usually the way these files are set up, everything is going to be grouped in the same archive. So that's a good indication of where you're going to be looking. If you, let's say I'm trying to get everything regarding the 76ers, more than likely all of their stuff is going to be in the same archive for the most part. And you can see here you got some clothing, and you'll know it's 76ers because it has that same 3-digit distinction at that 000. So what they try to do is they try to keep most of the stuff like in the same archive, keep it bunched together. I guess it makes it easier for the game to read the files. I don't know, but it does make it easier for us to search files and grab them out. So once we find out where that file is located, we know this one is in OI. This is the file we're looking for. It's in this archive, OI. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our 2K Explorer. You're going to see this little black box open up. You're going to see your little Explorer open up here with a blank page. We're going to go to Options, Preferences, and here you should see this directory already selected for 2K20. If it's not, you have to make sure that's selected. Otherwise, otherwise it won't know where to look to get the files. Once you have that selected up there, we're going to select the archive down here that we're looking for. Now disregard these names because this tool was based on NBA 2K17. So disregard the names. Don't come here looking like, okay, I'm looking for stuff for the Hornets, I'm gonna check this one. That doesn't work like that. So disregard the names. We're gonna be doing everything based on the manifest. So the manifest says that this floor is in 0i. We're gonna go to the 0i archive, check it, make sure it's checked. We're gonna hit save settings. Let me get out of it, minimize this. And we're gonna hit save settings once that's checked. If you still got this box open, you'll see it says settings saved. Once the settings are saved, we can close this out. Now what you're gonna do here from this big blank box is you're gonna hit File, Load Archives. It's gonna load the archives that you just checked in that previous little window that was open. So you can see at the bottom here it says Getting Archives. Alright, so this is the archive OI, and this is all those files that we saw from the manifest. It's literally all those files right here. So everything under this OI is listed right in here. So this is how people are pulling files out of the game, changing them, putting them into their modding folder, and then 2K reloads the file back up. So let's go ahead and grab what we want to grab out. So let's delete this crowd 00. We don't need that. Let's go ahead and grab out f000.iff. So search for that file, and then there's the file here. What we can do once we find it is we're going to right click, export archive, and then we're going to say, let's just throw it on the desktop. Put it on the desktop. It's going to save the file name, hit save, should pop up over here. Once it's done, now we have the floor for the 76ers. So just as a test, and then we'll probably call a video here. Let's go ahead and open it up and make sure it is the same floor. So to open up files, if you already installed 7-zip, the first thing you're going to need to do is right click on the file. And then if you select, you should see an option that says 7-zip. If it's not here, if you reinstall it, I believe it's going to ask you about a contextual menu. Just say yes on that part. But if you just went yes through it, it should work just fine. So once you got this little menu option here, select 7-zip. We're going to select open archive. This is the F00 archive, which is basically Philly's floor. So this is a bunch of shaders and stuff that go on the floor. When the light hits it, if you scroll down, here's a bunch of stuff that's on the floor. Like we got lines, we got logos, we got all types of stuff. If you actually open up, we can actually open up one of these texture files here to see what it is. So I'm assuming one of these is going to be the actual court. So let's just let's open up this one. I'm going to double click on it. As you can see, I have Photoshop. So any DDS, the DDS is the texture, which we'll talk about soon. My DDS files are set to open up with Photoshop. You can use GIMP, you can use Photoshop. There's a couple other tools you can use as well. So there's the 76ers logo. So I believe that the way that default courts load up is, I think it loads up just basically the court lines and the texture of the court and throws a logo on top. It doesn't do anything special, which is why courts look much better when we actually put them in ourselves, because we can edit everything on one texture and make it as detailed as we want. 2K pretty much splits all of this stuff up. So here's the center court logo. Here's the sideline text. What is this? That's the text on the sideline. So they split everything up and just tell the game to just put it in a certain spots on the arena floor. So that's why the arenas look really dull, to be honest. But that's how you actually take a file out of the big archive here and then open it up, and then you can see the actual item inside of the actual archive, inside of the IFF file. So this is just a quick video showing you how to extract files out. There's another tool. I know Lua made a tool to do this as well. You can use that, but I'd rather show you guys how to do it the OG way, just in case those tools aren't around in the future. This is usually always working. So, you know, if you need to extract something out, this is kind of like, this is my go-to. This is the personal tool that I always use when I'm extracting files, but there are other tools out there. I just personally like to use this one, so that's why I'm showing you guys how to use this. So, but that's how you open up the Explorer, get it installed, set it up, do a search in the manifest for something that you're looking for, pull it out, open up that file, and then you can see the textures and things on the inside of that file. So I think in the next video we'll probably talk about textures, and we'll look at maybe editing one in Photoshop and loading it back up, and that's gonna actually be the start of us actually doing some real stuff. So I know this stuff was a little bit boring, but it's a necessary evil that we got to go over so that you guys aren't lost when I'm starting to open stuff up and editing stuff and moving stuff around. So stay tuned for the next video. I'm out. Peace.